Hello and welcome to the Superhero Hub. I'm Sam,
I'm not.
and today, as usual, we're doing our weekly news bulletin. Breaking news. Right, so first story, obviously, and I quote, "This broke the internet." Apparently, Joss Whedon's in heavy talks to write, produce, direct a Batgirl film.
Yeah, I mean, he's identified with doing female protagonists. I guess makes sense. DC want to go out and get a big director. Um,
He kind of left on bad terms with Marvel. Is that something you'd
he,
agree
he,
with?
yeah, he. Well, that's in fact, it's not rumors. He's talked about it in conventions and whatnot. That'll be my question of this, is because from what we can tell, his frustration was with studio interference and being forced into their model and having to do certain things. And will it be the same? Maybe the fact that it's doing Batgirl, who, let's face it, isn't exactly a major character, means he can have a bit more leeway. He
Well,
can do his own thing.
to be honest, if the director of the Batman film, Matt
Matt
Reeves,
Reeves, yeah.
has been given complete control over the project, I mean, why wouldn't they give Joss Whedon complete control over the Batgirl thing? You know what I mean?
It's a good point,
It's
yeah.
like, to be honest, that could literally be, okay, it was to their detriment with maybe Zack Snyder and Batman versus Superman, I guess.
But part of that was to do with interference of them. He clearly made a 3 hour and whatever it was movie he wanted to be put out, and they cut it down into the theatrical cut.
Yep.
And the same goes for the Suicide Squad. That's kind of what I mean. He's not going to want that. So have they learnt their lesson? If so, I think it's a good idea.
If so, this could be DC's trump card. Like, not,
Maybe, but you know, uh, I hope it's good. I expect it to be successful, but Batgirl's not going to be your trump card. Your big hitters is going to be your trump card.
No, the trump card in terms of complete control, no studio interference. That's the
Possibly.
one thing that DC would have over Marvel, because you got to think Marvel are going to be pretty much involved, being the fact they're owned by Disney now.
Yeah, and to be fair to Marvel, it works. They have their model, and it works for them. And studio interference isn't always a bad thing. It shouldn't be looked at as evil. They're the ones fronting up the money. You know what I mean? If you front up the money for something, you should have some sort of say how it turns out. It's just cutting it down. The decisions they've made in terms of interference have been stupid so far. Hopefully, a bit of leeway for Joss Whedon will mean. I mean, all they need is a good movie.
Yeah.
So yeah, who cares?
Yeah, so it is going to be Barbara Gordon, and it
Of
is
course.
going to be it is apparently going to be based on the New 52 Yesterday storyline. Is that something you are familiar with?
Not really. All I know about, I didn't really get into the New 52 to be honest. I did my nothing. But if my question is, in a in a in a world where Batman is 45 roughly, where Robin is Nightwing apparently now, and another Robin I guess has probably been killed. Has Barbara Gordon already been shot? Is she paralysed and now is fixed out like she has in the comic books, or are they just going to go over and smooth over the Killing Joke completely?
Well, what happened in the New 52?
Some comic book bullshit meant she could suddenly walk again.
Well, then maybe that could be your answer, and I mean, one would imagine that J.K. Simmons would have a bigger role in that.
Right, and with J.K. Simmons' age, you got to imagine Barbara's got to be at least 30 odd.
So, who would you cast?
Oh, I have no idea. Whoever, get a good actress. That would do the role. It doesn't really matter, does it? If she's talented, it's fine.
Do you think it'll be someone Joss Whedon's messed with before in one of his other projects? Like Eliza Dushku or something like that?
No.
Favoritism. It's not like he hasn't done it before.
Warner Brothers are going to have some say. They're going to have say on casting.
Okay.
And they're going to want a name. Who it is, I don't know. But, as long as she's talented, it's fine. The question I'd have: who's going to be the villain? I don't know. I don't know. I haven't read the storyline you're talking about, so I don't know who the villain is.
Well, that shouldn't matter anyway, because I mean, just because it could follow it in some aspects, but not in other aspects.
Mm.
Maybe she gets popped in the spine at the end. Who knows?
It's very no. I doubt she will. You know what? I think they'll be better off avoiding that entirely, unless one day they will want to get to it. But I think certainly, I don't think it'd be something that's happened and then she's recovered. I think if you're going to do it in the film and move on from there. But it's very Batman centric now. You know, the DCEU. That's what we've had news of Nightwing, and now Batgirl, and obviously Batman. Eventually, at some point, is going to have his own movie.
Yeah.
Oh, and there's the Harley Quinn thing as well, isn't there? Whatever that's called.
Gotham City Sirens.
Right, there you go. It's not really the DCU, it's like Batman plus a couple of friends.
Hey, they know what works. Second story. Rainn Wilson, people will know him as Dwight Schrute from The Office US, is going to play a character called Harry Mudd in Star Trek Discovery.
Harry Mudd, wasn't he in the original Star Trek?
Well, there we go then.
Interesting.
Yeah. I'm not a big Trekkie, but I liked him in The Office. Not that I imagine he'd play the exact same character model, but whatever.
Who was Dwight's like UK counterpart?
Gareth.
Was that the dude from Pirates of the Caribbean? That
Yeah,
guy?
Mackenzie.
Okay.
The weird one who was way into hunting and stuff like that. He was much better in the American Office. So
I'll take your word for it.
Brad Pitt's out, but Russell Crowe is still on the list. What am I talking about?
Cable.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They keep throwing names out. Michael Shannon, Pierce Brosnan, Brad Pitt. He looks real thin. I saw a picture of him like the other day. He looks real thin. He looks all over the place.
Well, you know, I don't see Brad Pitt. I don't think Brad Pitt would ever have done it because of the commitment it is. You're not just playing Cable in Deadpool 2. You're playing Cable in what, X-Force. There's maybe going to be another movie. There's probably going to be a complete series. You're committing to a long-term contract for a lot of movies. It's not something Brad Pitt wants to do. I think he's a big-time producer now as well. He's doing his own stuff. So Russell Crowe, I love Russell Crowe, but I don't see him doing it. You know, he's Jarrell. I don't think he's going to pop over and do that as well. Michael Shannon, yeah, I guess I could see him being Cable, I suppose, but never Brad Pitt. Right. I mean, I think he could have pulled the role off. He's a damn good actor, but I just don't think it's something he'd commit to.
Okay. The Dark Tower, Idris Elba film, the release date has been pushed back to August. Now, so
isn't that only like a week delay though? It's not a big delay. Like it's been delayed plenty, but the latest delay is not a particularly big one.
Well, it's breaking news. It's things people need to know.
Really, a week delay is breaking news. Yeah, that's just being there making crap out of nothing. Whether the movie is good or not, a week isn't going to make a difference.
Okay. Game of Thrones. All you Game of Thrones fans, there was a teaser trailer came out this week. Don't get too excited. It's literally just Daenerys. I forgot the Queen's name, and Jon Snow.
Cersei.
Oh yeah, Cersei. Yeah, and Jon Snow, literally just walking down various hallways until they find themselves on whatever seat. Obviously Cersei being the Iron Throne, Jon Snow being his crusty little wooden chair, and Daenerys some new place. So, and then it kind of flashes like the White Walker's eye at the end. I mean, not really big surprises there, and by teaser it literally offered nothing. But I mean, the majority of the scripts, plot lines have leaked like months ago. So I mean, if that's to be followed, I pretty much know what's going to happen all through the season anyway. So I mean, still waiting on an actual thing where you actually see stuff happening. So yeah, Planet of the Apes trailer, War for the Planet of the Apes. That trailer drops tomorrow. So all you ape fans, get hyped.
I think it's already out.
Apparently comes out Sunday.
I'm pretty sure I've seen it.
Maybe that's the first trailer.
Maybe I'm going mad.
Yeah. Because
Either way, I'm getting.
there's a lot of people on YouTube who do the trailer announcements and then they play the old trailer and you watch it and you think, oh, I ain't seen this in so long, this is new, but really it's the old trailer. I've fell for that like 3 times in the past couple days.
You might be right. I saw something with Andy Serkis and Woody Harrelson doing some sort of commentary. Maybe it was on the old one.
Yeah.
But I'm game though.
Yeah, I think that's pretty much the same thing that I watched yesterday or last night. Guardians of the Galaxy Telltale series trailer that is out. So you Guardians of the Galaxy fans outside of the film universe, Telltale fans, I mean, they haven't really put a foot wrong. So get hyped for that.
Not recently anyway. There was that Jurassic Park game that was pretty dodgy, but for the most part they've all been good. I think Batman was cool.
I've never even heard of that. Good to Be Bad. Apparently, Injustice 2 trailer revealing Scarecrow and a better look at Bane and Captain Cold for that game. Scarecrow looks a bit off. He's probably the only one who I've kind of looked at and thought, oh, I don't know about that. Captain Cold looks pretty sick. The super attack of Captain Cold looks pretty awesome.
What's wrong with
Scarecrow? Spins right.
What's wrong with Scarecrow?
His mask looks a bit funny. I don't know what it is. It's just mask looks a bit funny, but you know, he's got the noose round his neck and he's got the big scythe and stuff like that. He looks okay, but there's something about the mask. It looks kind of too like pristine, if you know what I mean, and it kind of throws the whole character off. Because he should maybe, in my head, he'd always be a little more like kind of shabby, I guess. But it's very like Pumpkinhead thing, but it's kind of like a mask, you know what I mean? But it looks way too pristine. All his other outfit, the rest of his outfit kind of looks all frayed and shabby, but then his mask looks pristine and it throws everything off. Captain Cold looks good. Black Lightning costume. All you Arrowverse fans, the upcoming Black Lightning. The costume first look got released this week. So all you fans go flock and have a look at that, those who haven't already. Wreck-It Ralph 2, all you fans of that, has a slated release date of March 2018. So did you watch the first one?
Nah.
Me neither. But yeah, see, we're not biased, you know what I mean? We give you the news regardless. It's finale week. Yes, indeed it is. The Walking Dead finishes tomorrow, season 7. So let's see how that wraps up. Hashtag gonna be disappointing. And Legends of Tomorrow is on Tuesday. So all you fans of Legends of Tomorrow and Walking Dead, take your seats. Tomb Raider fans / Alicia Vikander fans, I am both. The first pictures of the Tomb Raider film reboot released this week. Did you catch that?
I think I saw a picture of it. Yeah.
She looks good, yeah.
Yeah, no, she looks fine.
Is
I don't know. She just stood there and what a tank top or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty much reminiscent of the kind of rebooted Tomb Raider and Rise of the Tomb Raider games. You know, she's got the little red axe thing that she uses in the game, or ice pick or whatever. So you're gonna think it's gonna be heavy on kind of that, which is a good direction, being them two games were critically / universally acclaimed.
I saw the synopsis of the film.
Yeah.
Where a lot of it was talking about how her home life and blah blah blah, and I hope the movie doesn't focus too much on that.
Well, look at it. It looks as though, I mean, if you kind of draw parallels from the game and that, treat it as like Arrow. She's kind of been, whatever's happened, she's crashed or whatever on an island, she's surviving, and you've got to think there's going to be flashbacks and stuff like that back to Croft Manor and stuff like that. They did it like that, that'd be pretty sick.
That'd be okay with flashing back to her life and then boom, we're on the island. That's cool. I just don't want, I don't want the first 45 minutes to be her home life and then she crashes.
Yeah, I can see and see how you'd think that. Yeah, but I think Lord knows anything's got to be better than Angelina Jolie.
Yeah, well, I never saw it. Either one.
They were pretty whack, really. I think they were just done because it's like, oh, Tomb Raider, let's do it. I mean, they weren't terrible. They were just like, eh. If you're a fan of the games and stuff, you'd watch it. You know what I mean? Because you're a fan of the games. But
Wasn't
really,
Daniel Craig in one of them?
yeah, it was in the first one. IMAX and Warner Brothers strike a virtual reality deal experience based on DC properties, leading up with Justice League, Wonder Woman, and a couple of other DC film properties. So little experiences you go along to. So if that tickles your fancy, keep your eyes and ears out for that. Also Aquaman as well. Katie Cassidy fans. She will be returning to Arrow season 6 as a series regular. Will she be the villain or will they and ah? Who knows? I mean,
No, I'm telling you, she's Catwoman.
unless they're gonna boot out this old black. Well, they've both got the same powers. New Canary and her have the same powers, so
Oh no.
that's gonna be awkward. Set release photos of the Infinity Wars are hinting at the Black Order appearing as Thanos's, Imperial Guards. Because I mean, obviously, they've been hinted that close to him are going to be a number of other CGI actors, and apparently, it's hinted some of them are going to be members of the Black Order.
Okay.
Jeremy Renner passes on Mission Impossible 6 to being Ant-Man and the Wasp.
Well, I don't think he really had the choice. I imagine the bigger commitment would have been to Marvel, but I expect the last. It was a pretty big deal in the first Mission Impossible he was in. I think it was Ghost Protocol, but Rogue Nation he was kind of put to the sideline anyway. It's like he was just sitting in an office with Alec Baldwin or whatever it was. So I think he's better off being Hawkeye.
Yeah, so that pretty much wraps it up, and that's all your breaking news stories for the week. I'm Sam,
I'm not
and you heard it here first on the.
superhero hub.
See you in the next episode.